Don't need to see it. Well, Kelly Sutton from Gusto.
Hello, Kent Beck from Gusto.
We are in the final stretch. We have 3 Desiderata left.
Yep.
And we've left the very best ones for last.
Yep.
And so this one is going to be about, this video is going to be about making tests specific.
Specific.
There's this magic moment.
Yep.
You've been coding away.
Okay.
You don't think you've made any mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You run the tests. Up comes the error, and you say, "Oh, I know exactly what's wrong."
Yep. Yep. And this is much better than the test saying, "Oops, something broke."
Yes.
Go figure it out.
Yeah. And now you gotta fire up the debugger. We were saying in the run up to this, some people get very proud of their skills with the debugger.
Yeah.
And a common experience with tests is, I haven't fired up the debugger in months.
Yeah.
So
great feeling.
What does it take for tests to have that property of specificity?
Yeah.
And you have an example from our teensy tiny little payroll application.
Yep. So let's take a look here at some specific tests. So
Okay.
we've got our minimum wage calculator here. This is calculating minimum wage hours times rate, and we've refactored this a little bit so that it now has 2 methods: calculate and calculate for.
Okay, so here on the right is the test as it was in previous,
Yep.
where we take an employee and we calculate for that employee, and we expect it given the inputs that here come the outputs.
Yep. The employee is the input for this one, for the calculate method, and then for this calculate for, we've changed it a little bit so that it just takes in the hours and the rate.
Okay.
Yep. And we run the tests, and they pass.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Good.
And then let's try to break this.
Okay.
Right. So let's try to break the calculate for method. We accidentally add one common mistake,
Okay.
Off by 1. We run the test and we get exactly 1 test that fails.
Yeah.
And it tells us exactly which test failed, line 18, which is the method that's only testing that top level calculate method here.
Got it.
And then let's try it. Should we try it the other way too?
Yeah. Compared to
making a mistake in the calculate for method, if we run the tests, we now get 2 failures.
So in a sense, this is a little bit less specific of an error.
Yeah.
But as long as we start at the leaves of our call stack,
Yep.
and if we find an error down in the leaf, then that's likely to be the cause of any errors further up.
Yeah, so we have to do a little bit of mental math here to kind of think about, okay, where might this error be?
Right.
But our errors are still very specific
Yep.
and can zero in on where the problem is.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to another way to write these same tests would be to create a company and an administrator and some employees, and then we run a whole payroll and we look at the PDF output and some numbers unexpected.
Yeah.
If we made these same errors,
Yeah.
where in the whole system was the mistake?
Yeah.
We're going to have a big debugging task to
Yep.
do to go and find it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about when we talk about specific tests, is this ability to point right to errors. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about tests being predictive, which sometimes is apparently in contradiction to specificity.
Yeah.
And resolving that contradiction is a big part of what it is we're trying to get across with all these videos.
Yeah.
So we'll be back with you next week.